Hi, Andrew. Thank you so much for joining me this podcast episode. Really appreciate it, man. How are you today?
Oh, doing fantastic. How about yourself?
Yeah, doing absolutely great and super excited for have a conversation and learn more about your journey, how you started your businesses. So before that, I'd love to know more about like starting a business and going into entrepreneurship. Is that you always wanted to do with your life or like you had like other plans and become an entrepreneur by accidentally?
Yeah, so I was fortunate. I actually grew up with an entrepreneur father, and he kind of taught us at a young age that there doesn't have to be limits how much money you make. There doesn't have to be limits of when you clock in and clock out, that you can work life on your own schedule, make as much money as you want. And I'm going, well, that sounds pretty good to me. And so it was kind of cool when I was in middle school. I was the guy who would buy chips for 25 cents at Costco and then sell them for $1 at recess. I'd be the one who would sell lemonade over the summers. And so it was always kind of fun having the entrepreneurial spirit and be able to do that. And I'd say things really changed. I became a full-time entrepreneur in October 2019 when I thought, you know what, I just got to take a leap. I got to jump and I got to make it happen. So I did.
That's great. And then how long ago like you started your business like currently you have?
Yeah, so it's currently what 2023. So I started my business in October 2019. So I'm going on almost 4 years as a full-time business owner, and so it's
Yeah.
definitely pretty excited and pretty proud about that. And it's definitely been a quite a fun journey, just not only making money for myself, but teaching other people how to make money. And
Hmm.
that's what I love doing, is specializing in coaching others how to build their own businesses and scale them and know their value and know their worth.
Yeah, that's great. And what actually made you like starting that kind of business, like helping others like start their own coaching business? Did you have like some kind of things on your prior to you starting the business? Like, this is the problem I'm having, and I need to solve that.
Yeah, so I got into the coaching business when I was in high school. It's been an interesting journey. So when I was in high school, that's one of the toughest parts of my life. I felt like I didn't know who I was, what I was good at. I didn't feel like I had any friends. I didn't feel like my family had my back. And it was just really a transformational time for me. And so I got connected with another life coach who talks about helping improve other people's lives. And I'm going, well, that'd be great to get paid to help others and get paid to teach others how to live their best lives. So I learned about coaching in high school, and then I learned more about it in college. And then I figured out that you're able to charge more than $2,500 for giving advice to people at a time. I'm like, well, that sounds fantastic.
Yeah.
And so when I launched my full-time business in October 2019, I was at the time a public speaking and sales coach, and I do that from time to time. But right now, I focus on accountability and sales coaching for helping people reach their goals 10 times faster. And so, as far as the coaching industry goes, I've read lots of books about it, taken lots of courses about it, taken lots of programs learned from other coaches. And it's just something that I know I'm passionate about because even when I was a kid, it was kind of a funny story. You know, my little brother was on the mountain and my dad was trying to teach him how to ski. And my little brother kept leaning back because he was scared of going down the
Mm.
mountain. And my dad was trying to teach him and saying, "All right, you have to lean forward, you have to lean forward." But whenever he would tell him that, my brother would lean back. So what I was skiing next to them, my dad goes, "Andrew, what do I do?" He does the opposite of what I say. So I say, "Well, tell him to lean back." So my dad goes, "Okay," tells him to lean back. He immediately leans forward. And so I love coming up with solutions that really help people overcome the obstacles that prevent them from reaching $10,000 months, from publishing books, from creating amazing speeches. I love helping people reach their goals faster because I felt like I've done a good job reaching mine.
Yeah, that's great. This journey like you had. So when you started your business, like a first year of business, how did you come along with it? Like you probably had a job prior to that, right?
Yes, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Out
coming
of
from like a
college, go
yeah.
ahead.
So coming from like corporate world to like starting a business, like how did you change the mindset? Like I need to be a business owner right now. And obviously a lot of people when you work in a steady paycheck job and coming to like a coaching world, like there's uncertainty, like how much you're gonna make in a month or year, you don't know. Like how did you leap into the unknown?
Yeah, so what I tell people is that something I recommend that when you become a full-time entrepreneur, first you definitely want to have a several months of savings to give you a buffer for figuring out how you're going to make money.
Mm.
Um, Secondly, you definitely want another source of income so you're not relying on full-time entrepreneurship right out of the gate. There's a saying that goes, "If you look hungry, you'll starve."
Yeah.
And so if you only have $1 left in your bank account and that entrepreneurship is the only way to make money at the moment, then things will be difficult for you. So for me, I was fortunate that I own an ATM. And so I'm the guy that gets that $3 transaction fee that people pay whenever they take cash out of the machine. And so when I leaped into entrepreneurship, I still had that ATM money as a stable income that I could go, you know what, even if I have to eat ramen for the next 30 days, I know that I have a cheap rent and I know that I have an ATM money paycheck each month that can support me while I try and figure out how to make money as an entrepreneur that will
Yeah.
support me full time, essentially. And there's a great story. I haven't read the book yet, but apparently in Shoe Dog, Phil Knight, built one of the largest companies in the world, Nike. Apparently in the book, it talks about how he actually lived with his parents till he was 35 and was actually working a full-time job at as an accountant up until he was 35, even while he was building Nike. So that's what I
Right.
tell a lot of entrepreneurs is really make sure you have that stable source of income before you become a full-time entrepreneur. But while you're working, becoming a full-time entrepreneur, I'm definitely happy to help. There's books that can help you. There's resources that can help you. A lot of people do want to see you succeed because entrepreneurship is one of the best things that we could do for ourselves. The freedom it creates, the money it creates, the opportunities it creates. I'm a virtual entrepreneur, so I can work from anywhere in the world, which is an amazing feeling. And so I would say, so yeah, so I was working in the nonprofit space. I was there for about 3 years. I gave over 1,000 presentations in that time, helping to scale the nonprofit to the 7-figure mark, along with amazing
Mm.
team members. I was able to help inspire all these high school students around the state of Oregon to learn professional skills to make sure they get amazing jobs and careers and become entrepreneurs themselves. And so when I made that leap in October 2019, I'm going, you know what? I want to figure this out. I want to become full-time virtual. And I kind of had that sight set in my eyes saying, this is what I want, this is what I deserve, I'm going to figure this out. And so it really did take me about yeah, it really took me 6 or 7 months before I learned how to really make a consistent income. And I really taken that leap, believe in myself, constantly figuring out how I can change my subconscious, my conscious mind, and just learn the skill sets that's needed. So, yeah, so that's why I tell people that when it comes to making a leap as an entrepreneur, make sure you still have a stable income, make sure you have resources of figuring out how you're going to make your full time income, and then just believe in yourself, take the leap and understand that it's a do or die attitude you got to have. It's that you got to figure it out and keep going from there.
Yeah. Yeah, I really agree with that. Like you have to have some kind of savings or safety net in there, like especially like if you have a family or like you have to pay your bills. And that's scary. Like if you have to always think about like a survival, like you can't bring any value to your customers or like your product or services. So always like have that kind for at least 6 months and see how everything goes along. And if you can like start with the side hustle, like you work on a full-time job and start your business during the weekend or like after you work, so that gives you like another way like a saying like if the things is working, the idea is working or not. So moving forward, like then you started your business, like obviously there will be times like where you feel like things not going your way. So how did you motivated yourself during the time?
Oh, there's lots of ways to stay motivated, and they're definitely all necessary. I definitely make sure I surround myself with other successful entrepreneurs. I'm constantly learning and growing. I make sure I stay in great physical shape so I can be healthy both mentally and physically.
Mm.
So I'd also make sure that really check off things in all parts of my life. So I'm unfortunate that now I have a loving and happy wife that I'm in a relationship with. We've been married for about 6 months now, and so you get the
Congratulations.
opportunity. Thank you. So we get the opportunity to support each other that way. So yeah, it goes back to you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So
Yeah.
if you want to be a successful entrepreneur, you better seek out and connect and give value to other entrepreneurs so they can give value back to you and want to support you and see you succeed, and just kind of understand that I'm always journaling, I'm always writing down my goals. I always make sure to write down what I'm excited for the day. I then review the day. I put down my monthly, weekly, yearly goals in my planner, and I'm constantly reviewing it, how to get better at it. So it really comes back to be in an environment that pushes you, that makes you happy, it makes you grateful, that wants to see you succeed, and also stay mentally and physically fit as much as you can in the process. Those are definitely very essential.
Yeah, it's so true that. And especially like we tend to forget about self when you're starting a business. Like we focus on keep going, 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 running, running. And then we neglect our health, we neglect our relationship and being time for us. And that actually like eventually comes out like you burn out, like the overwhelm you and you feel like you're not doing it, not motivated anymore. And that a lot of people, the business owners quit themselves like after running 3 to 5 years the business. So yeah, I always like admire that like someone who actually look after themselves when it's starting the business or looking after their relationship is most important part. Which brings out to like another service you provide, which is like accountability for like entrepreneurs. And especially when you need to look after yourself, looking after your people around you or your team, you need someone to account you have like you can support you and like tell you what to do. And if he's promising something, are you gonna follow through the promise or not? So you as a coach, like when you help others, like holding them accountable on doing their task or like their business, how important is that like your role for like someone succeeding in their business?
Oh, it's absolutely essential. So I got involved in accountability when I was joining Ben Hardy's program, and he has a couple books out right now. One of the books is Who Not How, and he talks about how in that book how it's not just how to get things done, but who you need to know to get things done. But essentially, in this program, I learned the importance of accountability because for me, I'm very difficult with myself as far as I always cope with excuses why I can't do things. I get distracted easily, and
Yeah,
then I don't end up reaching my goals. So I wanted to find out, why is it that so many people set goals and then they're unable to reach them? Or why is it that so many people don't set goals in the first place and just kind of go through life and going, oh, well, we'll see what happens. We'll see. And so by kind of figuring out a solution to that, I came across accountability. And what I've discovered is that people would rather not lose something than gain something.
mm,
They'd rather not lose something than gain something. And so, of course, if you say, oh, I want that new house or I want that new car, and you're like, okay, you're gonna have to lose watching Netflix, or you're gonna have to lose the comfortability of knowing how to live in your current home. You're going, oh,
yeah,
I don't know if I want to lose that. That sounds terrible. So the way my accountability program works is that I've discovered, as someone who is money motivated, that when you put in money into something and you only get it back once you complete that task, you're going to complete that task because you're like, oh, geez, I just lost some money. I want to get that back. And you do what it takes to get it back. So you put it in your favor.
yeah,
So, for example, when I first started the program, I'm like, okay, let's see if I can test this around learning a new skill or cutting something cold turkey. So I had a bunch of people put in $100 into the pot. They only get the money back if they do the goals that they set out to do. And it had a 100% success rate. And so I'm going, okay, we're on to something here. Now I'm wondering, can we use this to start learning how to make money?
mm,
And so I got some people together. I had them put $1,000 in the pot each. They only get $1,000 back if they make consistent, tangible progress towards their goals every single day while meeting on a weekly basis, being around a supportive group of people who want to see you win. We're all tracking each other. So if one person's making progress toward the goals, the other person sees it and goes, okay, I guess I got to get up today and make my progress as well. And then so we all put $1,000 into the common pot. The goal was to make $10,000 in 30 days or less. And at the end of 30 days, all four of us were able to complete it. And so I'm like, wow, this is such an incredible system that the world needs to know about, of using accountability to guarantee success for yourself, guarantee results. And obviously, when it comes to money, there's still mindset that needs to happen. There's still skill sets that need to be developed. But at the end of the day, when you have accountability, you make slow, tangible progress, have a supportive group of people who want to see you win, who are tracking you. So at the end of the week or the end of the month, when you see your daily entries, you go, okay, I feel much better about the progress I made.
yeah,
And this is obviously a business I'm very passionate about. As of March right now, I'm currently helping clients launch successful fundraising Kickstarter campaigns for their movies. I've helped clients learn how to monetize their podcast within 45 days after they previously couldn't monetize within 3 years. I've helped people build their own coaching businesses. So what's kind of funny is I created this accountability to help myself, someone like me who gets distracted easily, who loses focus, who loses momentum. And I'm going, you know what? I don't want to have excuses anymore. I want the success. I want to make it happen. And this is the one of ways I'm going to do that. So I know it's a long-winded answer to the accountability, but it kind of gives you a sense of how that all came to be.
yeah, that's great. And it's actually help people in terms of like a lot of people want to do that. Like they feel like, oh, I wanna don't wanna be like accountable to someone else. Like I moved to like a business world, so I don't have to say yes or no to someone else, and I don't have to listen to them because I don't want any boss. So coming from that kind of mindset, like as an entrepreneur, you know yourself, like we don't like to be told by someone or
Yeah.
like justify to someone else. We tend to be like open and free, but we oftentimes, without being like some coach or like someone by mentored or like being accountable partner, we don't do like our 100% of like what we can be capable of doing, because we probably gonna wake up instead of 7 a.m. we're gonna wake up at 10 a.m. because there is no one, there is no boss, no one's gonna fire you except your clients if they're not getting results. But at the same time, like having like creating a good healthy like routine for like doing a journaling in the morning like you do, or like brushing your teeth or like going on a exercise. A lot of people have like a different kind of things, or you do not doing a like a meditation or like a yoga that could be beneficial. But as you come in and you help other people, like do you take that easily, like being accountable to you, or like do you have to convince them in terms of like you can help them?
Yeah, everyone views accountability differently. I'd say, yeah, some people they're like, oh, I don't need it, I'm good, thank you. Other people like, you know what, this has been something I know I've been procrastinating on. I need to get my
Mm,
butt kicked on. Let's make it happen. And the beauty of this too is like not only does it help people reach 10K months, if you're currently at 10K months and or 15K months, we're able to help people get to 30K months,
yeah.
and really expand that way too. So and that's what I've discovered as well is so when it comes to accountability, some people need a lot of love and just like a little bit of accountability. Other people like, give it to me straight, give me 100% accountability. I don't need much love. I just need to get this stuff done. So hold my feet to the fire and make sure we don't stop until I get the results that I'm after, essentially.
Mm.
So that's what I've discovered in the program is that, yeah, you definitely want to understand what people's levels of accountability are. But at the end of the day, you still must put something down at the very beginning, and you only get that back once you complete the task. And what's amazing too is the confidence building that comes from that too. Like once you go, oh wow, I was able to resist sugar for 30 days. What else can I do? Oh wow, I was able to figure out how to ask someone for money at an amount I've never asked someone, an amount I've never asked before. What else can I do? And it really does build a lot of confidence, momentum in your life to help you realize I can accomplish anything I set my mind to. I can achieve things faster. And there's a whole group of people who want to see me win and be supportive during that time as well. So that's why I'm super hyped about it.
Yeah, that's great. Thanks for sharing the. So we're coming to the end of this podcast, Andrew. It's been a great pleasure having you on the show, and we had a great conversation. So those who's listening, if anyone wants to learn more about your program or yourself, where's the best place to find you?
Yeah, you can currently find me on social media. I'm located at the Andrew J. Weiss. I also have a website, weisswisdom.com. And I would love to connect with you on any of those platforms. Weisswisdom.com or the Andrew J. Weiss is my social media handle.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you so much for sharing. So I wish you best of luck for your business and your personal life. I hope you have a wonderful day ahead, and thanks for coming today.
Thank you.
You're most welcome. That's a wrap, guys. Thank you so much for listening to this podcast episode. I hope you enjoyed it. So, those who's listening, if you're interested to learn more about Andrew, go visit him on the social media platforms, or like you can reach out to him on his website. So, until then, I'll talk to you in our next episode. Take care.